like a thief, and you stole the crown. Your lies keep piling up, and we watch them weigh you down. The fear and greed that you stoke, they run the whole fucking show. But we are not afraid, and we will not let go. The bigots rise, and you fan the flames. You build an empire of fear and pain. You're hand in hand with the billionaire scum, selling out this country while you play dumb. Burn it all down, tear the walls apart. We will not bow, we will not lose heart. We will put an end to the hate, we will put an end to your lies. We will stand side by side, and we will You think these cages are built for the poor and for the weak, for the families torn apart while you laugh and tweet? Look at the puppets dance to the corporate sound, but we are still here and we will stand our ground. There is blood on your hands. We have seen the truth erased. You put the prophets first instead of the people you've displaced. History is watching, and it won't soon forget. It may not be you this time, but you could soon be next. Burn it all down, tear the walls apart. We will not bow, we will not lose heart. We will put an end to the hate, we will put an end to your lies. We will stand side by side, and we will rise! Burn it all down! Tear it all apart! Burn it all down! Tear it all apart! Burn it all down! Tear it all apart! Lies on the screen from the deadline machine. Burn it all down, they killed the American dream. Don't blame an escalator, a tower built on decay. Smiling like a tyrant while the world fades away. Fear and hate is the name of your game. Divide the people and shift all the blame. The truth is dead, you sold it for fame. History won't forget your name. Fake empire built on greed. Fascist clown, watch it bleed. Break the chains, fight the fire, dethrone the king, take it higher. Broken in cases, you have got blood on your hands. Worship the dollar while you ignore our demands. We storm the gates, our rage is fueled by your lies. We will sit back and watch as your empire crumbles and dies. Fear and hate is the name of your game. Divide the people and shift all the blame. The truth is dead, you sold it for fame. History won't forget. Nay, nay. Fake empire built on greed. Fascist clown, watch it bleed. Break the chains, fight the fire, empire going down. No more kings for the crown. Justice call, hear the sound. Rise up now and stand your ground. All out. Promises right. Promises right. On a gilded stage, dividing the people, fueling the rage. Walls built high, but compassion's low. Truth buried deep beneath the show. No more lies, no more deceit. We will bow down, we will retreat. Voices loud, we stand as one. The fight's not over, it's just begun. It's just begun. Families torn at the borderline. Justice denied, time after time. Prophet's soul on the planet burns. When will we learn? When will we learn? No more lies, no more deceit. We will bow down, we will retreat. Voices loud, we stand as one. The fight's not over, it's just begun. It's just begun. It's just begun. Resist the power and break the chain. Rise above all this hate and this pain. Together we're strong, we won't divide. In our unity we will find our pride. The fight's not over, it's just begun. 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 The fight's not over. Whispers turn to battle cries. The truth is dead, been fed to lies. They sell us lies in the name of peace. While justice rots beneath the leash, they write the laws just to serve the few. We bleed beneath the red, white, and blue, but freedom's fire still burns inside, where truth and treason often collide. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't dismiss. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must feed on the patriots who dare to bleed. When tyrants tremble when freedom rings, we are the roots and we will bring the thunder rolling through the land. With fire in our hearts and blood on our hands. No peace without the will to fight. No dawn without a rebel night. The ballot's a joke and the court's offline, and American justice lags a decade behind. So strike the drum and light the flame. Each beating soul will rise again. The people's wrath is a sacred flood. soil drenched in the martyr's blood. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't dismiss. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must feed on the patriots who dare to bleed. The tyrants tremble when freedom rings. We are the roots and we will bring the thunder rolling through the land. With fire in our hearts and blood on our hands. Not for glory, not for gold, but for the stories that were never told. For every voice that they tried to drown, we will plant the flag and hold our ground. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't resist. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must grow with the blood that only the brave know. And if we should fall, then we fall as one beneath the rising blood-red sun. The tyrants will fall and the people will rise, because freedom never truly dies. They build their towers in the sky, hoarding wealth while the workers die. Billionaires with blood-stained hands, trampling lives to expand their brand. They say they earned it, they say it's fair, but they only take while we despair. Their pockets are fat and their hearts are cold. Working ourselves to death makes them more bold. But now the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see our lives and we know the deal. You hoard the wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you capitalist whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. The system is rigged, it's all just a game. The rich pull the strings, the poor take the blame. Wealth hoarders live in mansions, the people live in chains. The billionaires don't care, they cash in on our pay. Luxury is a cage, they've been built on the backs of the common workers that they keep under attack. But we the people, we've had it rough. Their empire is fragile, we've had enough. And now the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see your lies and we know the deal. You hoard the wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you only God's whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. No more silence, no more living in fear, no more being divided, no more broken man's tears. Don't try to keep us down, you are not our king. In every city and every town, let motherfucking freedom ring. Because the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see your lie and we know the deal. You hoard the wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you capitalist whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. It's better to die standing on your feet than living a lie down on your knees. It's better to die standing on your feet than living a lie down on your knees. We signed up to fight for freedom, not to be the boots on the necks of Americans. You used us, you lied to us, and now we're coming to square the account. Get fucked and die mad about it. Admin Tip 360, bitch! We wear the scars, we bear the pain. We watched our friends die in blood and flame. You said that we fought for liberty, but we came home to find it. every citizen still asleep. Wake the fuck up! To my fellow veterans, remember your oath! Our freedom is dying right beneath our eyes! The people in charge tell us nothing but lies. The common people starve while billionaires eat, and we're the ones tossed out in the street. Let's eat the rich, let's make them pay their share. Paying their taxes is a burden they can bear. Make billionaires right again. Not in this fight, we have the line. Whether it's day or night, no one walks alone. This ain't no game. There is only one truth. We are the same. No one walks alone. Not in this fight, we have the line. Whether it's day or night, no one walks alone. This ain't no game. There is only one truth. We are the same. No one walks alone. I got something for you. Hang on to your asses. Golden towers, velvet ropes, behind the mask, a vulture chokes, power suits and dirty hands, wag the dog in desert sands, victims screaming into voids while kings play gods with broken toys, airbrush lies on every screen. What the hell does justice mean? Lock room, VIP, predator in a crowd walking free, blood on the floor, hurt trooping chains. How many more gotta scream in vain? You built your throne on broken laws. Now you're scared, you know what you saw. Silence bought with piles of cash. Erase the files, burn the trash. Martial law for damage control. Draft the board to hide your soul. Wanna light the world on fire just to dodge the light trip wire. History is a loaded gun. Tick, 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 you better run. Lock room, VIP, predator in a crowd walking free. Blood on the floor, hurt trooping chains. How many more gotta scream in vain? Your kingdom shakes with every name. You'll kill us all to dodge the blame. This ain't conspiracy, it's confession. Hidden in plain sight, full suppression. You laugh while the system bleeds, but the streets remember what you need. Truth, there's a cry. You just spare the time when the lights come my head. Your ass is mine. Locked room, VIP. No more secrets, no more cages. Dragged across your marble floor. Truth is kicking down your door. I said I'm young and believe the vow. Stars and stripes, I wear them now. Trained to fight and trained to lead. Wore the flag like it was all I need. I went to war, that was my goal. Buried brothers filling bullet holes. Did what I had to cause that was the cost. I came home proud but broken and lost. The other party used me and threw me away. Now I see through the games they play. They wrapped their lives in red, white, blue, but the blood on my hands was never for you. It was never for you. They said freedom, they said truth. but fed me hate since I was a youth. Republican dreams, conservative pride, just uniforms for the Green Day hide. Where were they when the V8 failed? When my friends came home and we all derailed? Where were they when we screamed in pain? Too busy chasing power and gain. All the party used me and threw me away. Now I see through the games they play. You bring support, you wave your flags while you turn your backs on body bags. Don't turn your back on the fallen. You say that I betrayed you. I bled for this country. What did you ever do? You cheered for war, then you ran from the wounded. I see who the traitors really are now. I gave my all, you gave me lies. Soldiers die while your empire thrives. Call me woke, call me lost. You never paid the fucking cost. And the party used me and threw me away. But I won't be silent one more day. I fight again, not for your pride, but for every soul you left behind. The party used me and threw me away. But I won't be silent one more day. Justice ain't red, justice ain't blue. It's the truth, and it's coming for you. Marching down the street with your MAGA flag, spitting serpent's lies while you're waving that rag, screaming freedom while you chain the weak. It makes me sick every time you speak. Beneath your cross, behind your screen, you sold your soul for a fascist dream. Keyboard warrior that don't know pain, a cultist clown whose leader's insane. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution, but you lick the boots. You're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us. You're a fucking disease. You live in fear. Spend life on your knees, try to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You fake your fate, now you choke on the dead. The party of law and order, but you storm the hill. You back the blue except when you're out to kill. You wave a gun in your neighbor's face. Fake ass patriot, you're a fucking disgrace. History watch while you took your stand. We saw what you did all across this land. American patriots don't kneel to a king. You're a fucking simp sucking that cinnamon ring. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution, but you lick the boots. You're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us. You're a fucking disease, you live in fear. Spend life on your knees, try to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You faked your fate, now you choke on the dead. You traded your hood for a MAGA hat. The mark of the beast, you believe in that. You don't believe the words that you shout. You chant just to drown out the doubt. You were born to lose and you still started this game. The fire is coming and we are the flame. We're gonna tear it down, bury it 6 foot deep, and we'll never forget that you're a sheep. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution, but you lick the boots. You're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us. You're a fucking disease, you live in fear. Spend life on your knees, try to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You faked your fate, now you choke on the dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 26, 47. civil reason dies and feeds the walls of mocking loyal hosts. He played for strong and black as foreign ghosts. The sirens feasted their freedoms for stealth. His throne is built on smoking shit posts. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Lady liberty, let truth come down. Expose the rapists who tried to drag you down. Let history brand and not with any renown. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. He scores people who bled for law and land and praises the mob that stormed the sacred floor. A coward's grin, a scepter in his hand. He chooses chaos, shatters every door. His pledges rock the meaning nevermore. He tried the truth of treason, gained renown, and still he begs for power, blood, and war. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Oh, Lady Liberty, let truth come down. Expose the rapists who tried to drag you down. Let history brand him, not with any renown. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. He turns his back while tyrannies grow bold. He whispers secrets where the hawk should warn. And all for what? Some towers fake and gold. A name and bond and scandal loud and worn. No martyr here, just falling to be mourned. A fraud and silken jester in a gown. The gospel's house for shame we won't adorn. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Lady Liberty, let truth come down. Expose the rapists who tried to drag you down. Let history brand him, not with any renown. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Oh, Lady Liberty, we let you down. Oh, Lady Liberty, we let you down. When truth is lost beneath a gilded name, and green parade as patriotic pride, the people's trust becomes a tarnished flame, extinguished where deception dares to strike. This man does not deserve our loyalty, because he thinks that he is royalty. America! Fuck yeah! King Freeze in 7876 so you can suck our collective dicks on flown up lies built high on fear and spite. Commands with bluster, rage, and crude disdain. What once was all been wrong to serve the right. A conscience cries in vain beneath the strain. This man does not deserve our loyalty, because he thinks that he is royalty. America! Fuck yeah! King Brains in 7876 so you can suck our collective dicks. No kids! This motherfucker must go! No kids! Straight to jail! No kids! Or we can show him the gates of hell! He mocks the weak, the weary, and the poor, yet calls it strength to trample those below. The soul of service darkened at its core. What seeds he sowed, we're reaping what we sow. open stage, no clown can outlast the people's rightful rage. Well, no people.
Now it's time for the throw punch! Oh! I got the portrait set wrong. Damn it. Blew my whole intro. Carlos, how's it going?
What's going on?
Everything's jacked up on here. Oh, Mikey got on my desk. That's why.
Oh, sure. Blame the cat.
I mean, he can't speak up for himself. What's up, fam of Liberty? And people not in the fam, I guess. I don't know who else would be watching. For those of you that have no idea who I am, I'm Admin Tim, sometimes called Big Sarge, and one of my co-hosts, Admin Jamie. And joining us tonight is another veteran, Carlos Álvarez-Aranyos.
Not a veteran, contractor.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were okay. I got that wrong.
No, yeah. No, a lot of people think that for some reason, but no. I worked as a contractor for DOD through Chenega Corporation for a number of years, but I am not a veteran.
Okay. I think that's what got me confused a little bit. I don't know how, but anyway, there you have it. So what's up, Carlos? Anything good going on today?
Well, what a crazy weekend that was. We had the No Kings demonstrations number 3.0. Everybody kept calling it 2.0, but it was the third. And then we went and visited the home of Russell Vaught, which I thought was an interesting project. Nice little side project with our friends at Flair and with Cliff Cash to go visit him and his neighbors, and his neighbors all hate him. So that was amazing. His neighbors were all like, "You guys are welcome to keep coming back as often as you like." So,
so they hated him prior to this. They don't hate him because of this.
No, they hated him prior to this, and they were kind of surprised that nobody had come before. And then, but somehow, I think somebody narked on us and let the Arlington Police Department know and the feds know, because there were 7 cop cars on his block in different positions. And then there were at least 3 obvious federal vehicles, and then some that looked to be like, trying to hide, but they were still feds. And so it was blanketed with people, but nobody got out of their cars. Nobody did shit. And we actually went up and knocked on his door and everything. It's pretty amazing. And it's just part of the strategy of part 2. Part 1 was national protest to get everybody out the door. Part 2 is putting pressure directly in people's faces. And that starts with this kind of action. On September 2nd, we went to Congress, visited every office. 5 hours after we did that, Hakeem Jeffries asked for a meeting. So we know this shit works. We're just going to keep doing it. We're going to take it to the next level. Often, everywhere they go, if they go out to dinner, we're going to chase after them and yell at them. We just want their kids asking them, "Mom, Dad, why are thousands of people calling you fascist everywhere you go?" Because we really, the protests don't put the pressure directly in people's faces, and if they just ignore them, they feel like they're not part of that environment. Then they can just keep being assholes. But if we can meet them where they are, I think we're going to have a much better time in terms of generating the kind of result that we want.
Yeah. I was at the September 2nd event in DC and got to go talk to some people. I didn't get to meet the one that I wanted to meet, Jasmine Crockett. Apparently I walked past her in the hallway and nobody pointed it out to me. I was too busy reading the map trying to figure
I'm
out
sorry.
where we were supposed to be going.
She looked like she was busy. All right.
I could still just be like, "Hey, girl, hey." Or, "Hey, what's up, Jasmine? How you doing?"
Well, you know,
Anyway.
I mean, you got to take your shots whenever you can get them in life, right?
Yeah, I just can't be, I'm on point, like reading the map and
That's what happens to navigators. They miss the entire scenery, you know? You
Yeah,
never know what's
yeah.
out there. Yeah.
So
No,
what's
that
next?
was a really good action. What's next is we're going to keep doing this. We're going to double down. We're going on November 5th, where the Handmaid Army is going to visit Congress. That they really represent for women's rights, for social justice. They're going to be in DC. And then on November 22nd, we are going to try to flood DC, try to get as many people as possible to come to the district and just hopefully have an overwhelming response. Dropkick Murphy's going to play. We're going to have some really cool shit going on that weekend. But that main date on the 22nd, we're just hoping to get everybody, especially people who live around DC. If you live within 10 hours, we need you to drive to DC and show up with us. And then on the 28th of November, we're doing something called Blackout Friday, where we're hoping to shut down the economic activity on Black Friday. So basically, the biggest shopping day of the year, we're hoping to zero it out. And we're hoping to get everybody to stop and not do a single bit of shopping on Black Friday.
Not even for small businesses?
You know, Small Business Saturday happens the next day. That's when it's the right time, but we really want Black Friday to be an absolute blackout. And then on Small Business Saturday, we're going to encourage everybody to go patronize small businesses. But remember, small businesses are at the end of a line that includes a lot of big businesses, and we have to make sure that and obviously we're all going to have to sacrifice something. I'm a small business owner, so I feel this too. But the reality is that we all have to show up on that Friday and shut it down. And the measure to which we can is the measure to which we can stick it to the large businesses. And then on Small Business Saturday, I think we want to set a record for the most small businesses patronized ever, hopefully. But right now, I think Friday is about shutting it the fuck down, you know?
Okay. So we've got November 5th. We've got November the 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Right.
And then
The 28th.
Blackout Fridays is
Black Friday.
Friday
Yeah,
the 28th.
right.
Okay. So and beyond that, we don't have anything.
Oh, I mean,
on
we're
the
gonna keep
docket yet.
developing. So we're on to direct actions, and the idea is that some of these emerge quickly. The Russell Vaught action was sort of conceived and executed within 2 hours. And part of what we're
Like it.
hoping to do is, and we've actually been talking to you, and I'm happy to talk about it, which is that we're hoping to develop groups in states like veterans groups, et cetera, united fronts that we can call upon to deliver direct actions in real time. Because part of this is that they develop quickly and we need to respond quickly. And so, yeah, that's the mission, man, is we want to draft action squads that can basically go out and meet people where they are. As soon as we get some intel that somebody's at this restaurant, we want to make sure we can get 500 people to show up in front of that restaurant and let them know how we feel. And just over and over. And we want to do that daily. And as campaign season ramps up, every time they go to a rally or every time they go meet voters somewhere or they go to the state fair or wherever they may be, we need them to feel us. This is the goal of the direct action phase 2 of our plan is to get up in their faces and annoy the fuck out of them and just never stop doing it and be absolutely overwhelmingly relentless and absolutely overwhelmingly direct and be as aggressive as we can be and put it right in their faces and make them feel it. Because frankly, we feel this shit every day. We feel Donald Trump's bullshit every day. So now we have to make them feel us the same way we feel them. And that's just as simple as it is. Fascism has to have a price for the people practicing it, not just for the people who are victims of it. And we need to stand the fuck up and make them pay a price. Because clearly the Department of Justice isn't making them pay any price. So, it's going to be on the
Right.
people to deliver accountability.
So,
So
when you're
go ahead,
talking
Jamie.
about
Sorry.
it's all good. When you're talking about direct action, like I mean, obviously we've mentioned like going to congressional offices, and we've talked about confronting fascist ass fucking politicians at restaurants and whatnot. What is the kind of scope that you're trying to lay out here when we're talking direct action?
We want to replace between 30 and 60 Democrats in the primaries so that we can rebrand the party and get rid of the worst ones, because the Democrats are a shitty representation for the opposition, and we need to make them a formidable opposition. So we need to upgrade the Democratic Party. Thankfully, they have a
I
lot of
agree wholeheartedly.
they have a lot of talent in AAA, but not a lot in the majors, because the major league squad is old as dirt and they just refuse to leave. So our goal is to upgrade the major league squad to the current AAA squad. And we're not even ideologically married here. It can be people from the left like AOC. It can be people from the center like Gavin Newsom. It can be people like Mamdani. Just voices, Talarico from Texas. Younger, better, faster, stronger. We need to reshape the Democratic Party, and we need to replace enough of them so that we can make sure that the current leadership doesn't get elected again. Right? We can't have Hakeem Jeffries or Chuck Schumer at the end of that process. That's the goal. And then the second part of this is then going into the general is to replace simply as many Republicans as possible. But before we replace them, guys, we want to annoy them so much because they're going to quit. A lot of people are going to retire when they look at the polling and they look at the fundraising situation. We saw it with Joni Ernst in Iowa already. She's already retired. A lot more people are going to follow once they take a hard look at what the uphill climb they're going to have to do to secure re-election. By adding pressure, we feel like we can increase the number of retirements, because if they're waking up every day and in front of their house there's 800 people yelling at them every morning that they're there, and when they go to their offices there's 800 people there waiting for them to tell them to go fuck themselves over and over and over and over again, it adds up and it makes the price go up. And again, our goal is to increase the price of fascism everywhere. And so we just have to be relentless. We have to be super well organized. We need to be super well funded, which is sort of an area where I have sucked to this point as fundraising. But yeah, that's my goal, is to deliver maximum pressure everywhere they go all the time. Like what those women did to Trump at that restaurant. I want that to happen to every fascist every single time they go to a restaurant, at every restaurant. I don't care if it's McDonald's or the nicest restaurant in town. I want them to experience that everywhere they go. I just want it to be fucking relentless. I want the price of fascism to be that everywhere you go, people are going to call you an asshole to your face while you're eating, while you're drinking, while you're trying to relax, when you're sitting by a pool at a hotel. Everywhere you go, I want to turn the American people into a force for opposition, so that everywhere these assholes go, we follow them, and we follow them with a simple message. And hopefully it like bleeds in that it's just going to continue happening endlessly until they fucking quit. And even then, it may still happen to some of them, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be fucking with Stephen Miller for the rest of his existence, forever. And Russell Vought, that house, he's going to have to move. We're gonna set up shop at his neighbor's house. We're
Now,
gonna fucking be relentless, guys.
on the topic of getting some Democrats out of office too. What about, why two parties? Why not a third party?
The Electoral College makes that impossible. It's easier to Tea Party to essentially use the forces that the Tea Party used to change the Republican Party. We can use those same forces to change the Democratic Party, this time for the better, obviously not for the worse like the Tea Party, but leverage the same forces, the same dynamics. We have right now among Democrats the same disappointment and frustration with their own party that a lot of the Tea Partiers had towards the Republicans. In terms of, obviously, the Tea Partiers were dumber than the Republicans at that time, and I think the frustrated Democrats are smarter than the Democrats that are doing the frustrating. So I think it's an opposite situation, but the setup is the same in terms of where we are emotionally. And so I think we can leverage that same energy to replace a bunch of Democrats in the primary and make it a better party and tell the existing Democratic leadership that they are simply not, they're just too big of losers to represent us, period. They cannot adequately represent us as an opposition force. They have no balls. They have absolutely no will. They only answer to corporations and to the establishment that crafted them. I mean, people like Chuck Schumer have no place in our government, and people like Hakeem Jeffries have no place in our government. And now that we've lived trying to work with them, fuck them. Like, honestly, the conclusion of American opposition after doing a lot of fucking work to try to get those guys to be better is that they are complicit. It's not that, listen, if there was like a free trial and there was a truly impartial jury and you brought a jury in from Italy and they had never heard of these people, and one side was arguing that these people are incompetent and the other side was arguing that they're complicit, the complicity argument would win. So whether or not that's the case, the reality is that everything the Democrats are showing us tells us that they are not capable of meeting this moment. And so, frankly, we just need to replace the fuck out of them. And as you said, building a third party, that takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. Why don't we just take over a perfectly existing party that is desperately in need of a far better cast of characters that can actually do this work? And by the way, as I said, in the AAA, in the minors, people like Maxwell Frost, people like AOC, people like Mamdani, these are much more attractive voices, right? And they're already there. And I don't mind empowering people that are, at least bringing it to Trump. I just don't want to keep empowering the people that submit to him without a fight, these fucking leaders that are making deals with him and voting on his shit. People like Cory Booker, who gave a 25-hour speech only to like 2 days later vote to confirm Jared Kushner's father, who was a convicted felon that Donald Trump had to pardon, to be ambassador to France for the United States of America. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So you mentioned after 9/2 that you got a conversation with Hakeem Jeffries
With his director of outreach, yeah.
And I personally remember when I made a little faux pas by accidentally spilling the beans before it was ready. So is that something that you could talk about, that meeting?
Yeah.
Or is that
the reason that we didn't want to talk about it is because the meeting was supposed to be a prelude to the meeting with Hakeem Jeffries. And what we were hoping to do was to build we had a coalition of groups. It was us, 5051, Flair, you guys, and Jolly and the broader veterans community. And we were going to all join together to go and see Hakeem Jeffries together. The meeting I had was with his director of outreach to set up that big meeting. And I mean, I got to tell her exactly what I think of Hakeem Jeffries for an hour, so it felt amazing. It was, I'm not gonna lie to you, that was one of those, and I don't think they knew who they were fucking with, because I've worked with a lot of politicians in my time. Something's very loud.
Oh, I'm sorry. My family's like, I think they're putting away pots in the other room.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And so the conversation was meant to be a prelude conversation, but then everything that happened that week told us that Hakeem Jeffries is beyond repair, and everything that has happened since even more. And on the Epstein files and all of these issues, the dude is just the worst. And when they call him Timu Obama, and somebody told us that he has the the charisma of a dial tone, which I thought was the greatest description. That made me happy because I was like, that is exactly what it is. He has the charisma of a dial tone, and
I like
yeah,
that. We have to use that in the future.
yeah, charisma of a dial tone. Yeah. Anyway, so the guy is useless, and we need to get rid of him, and that's just as simple as it is. And then Chuck Schumer is much more overtly useless. We've known that for a long time. I haven't even tried to
Mm.
talk to Schumer staff. I just need him gone immediately, sooner better. And it's
Uh,
ironic because he got Biden to quit based on age and uselessness, and so he should do this. Somebody should do what to him what he did to Biden. You know what I'm saying?
it's funny because even when you listen to Schumer and he's actually doing something for once in this fucking hell, this goddamn nightmare that we're living in. Even when he's talking about like the shutdown, which is the first fucking thing the establishment Democrats have actually, I feel, done right this entire time.
Right.
Just listening to him. One of my friends
He
put it
just sounds like a
some way.
pussy, man.
Yeah, right. Well, one of my friends put it just as he's like a morale suck. Like listening to him
Right.
just makes you feel defeated, no matter what he
Yes.
says. Like he's got
It's the opposite of a leader. You just
Yeah.
wake up and go, if that's the guy representing me, I'm fucked. Where do I
Yeah.
need to run to? Where are my
Yeah.
provisions? Where's my bunker? Yeah, dude. I mean, he makes you want to quit.
yeah.
The opposite of a leader, he makes you want to quit actively. Like, what outs do I have if I'm stuck with this fucker? You know, it's awful. It's awful. Honestly, guys, we look. Donald Trump could have another year head start on us, and we would still be ahead of him. We're playing defense on our home court. It's very tough to subjugate the American population. Just the Bills fans is hard to subjugate. The entire fucking country is almost impossible. It's really fucking difficult. Donald Trump lacks the discipline. He lacks the talent. He lacks a lot of things that he would need to make that happen. And he lost the military on the day when he summoned the generals. He lost any chance he ever had of getting the U.S. military to agree to him being a dictator. So he doesn't have it. He's literally going to lose this fight. We need to have better leaders to confront him and precipitate that outcome. And that means getting the fuck out there and getting into everybody's faces and making it untenable. I want Kristi Noem to exist in a world where she can't exist, where she can't enjoy herself, where anytime she leaves her house, she's getting fucking yelled at by everybody. I want to create that world. And I want to create it for her, for Stephen Miller, for Russell Vought, for everybody in the administration. And then I want to create it for the entire cabinet. And then I want to create it for 30 to 40 particularly bad Democrats, and then for every single fucking Republican. That is my dream. That is what I'm asking people to support us with, because honestly, I just want to make them pay a daily fucking price for the stress and agony and suffering that they're imparting on all of us. And honestly, I want to hit them back harder than they've hit us. And the nice thing is we have the numbers. We are 330 million strong, you know? And frankly, I think most Americans agree with us, especially when you get them out of the cult situation that they're in with Trump. And part of this leadership that we need to show is also reminding people that, like, if you're a young man and you're looking for fucking people to look up to, guess what? Some of the biggest achievers that are the most alpha males you'll ever meet are people with dignity and respect and empathy and caring, who are awesome at their jobs, who are having the sex you wish you were having, or driving the cars you wish you were driving, or making the difference you wish you were making. Like, we can show people that model also works. You know, it's not just the fucking Joe Rogan bullshitosphere. You don't have to be full of shit. You know,
Mhm.
you can succeed in life while being smart and caring and awesome. And it's a better success because people celebrate with you rather than hating on you. Yeah. So as I just want that to be the fucking difference, not like moving from bad to slightly less bad. We need to redraft this entire fucking social contract, man.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that so hard right now. So 11/5 is congressional visits again. like we did
Yeah, with the
on
but this
September
time
7th.
with the handmaids leading the way, which I think is powerful because I think one of the things that's happening is that women's rights are getting crushed, minority rights are getting crushed, and it's rolling back so much progress that we made throughout a century of fighting for social justice across the board, from suffrage through civil rights to today and marriage equality and et cetera. And I think the handmaids are a really powerful way to tell that story about the subjugation of women, because part of so much of the sort of Republican narrative right now is about the subjugation of women. It's about losers who want to rape women rather than because they can't get laid. It's like the incel culture has become a dominant. Like we are largely governed by incels right now. That's the reality of where we are. Like Stephen Miller and Russell Vaught and all these guys, they're all just sad, miserable people, pathetic people trying to make up for their insecurities at the expense of the rest of us. It used to be Ted Cruz. Now they're even worse somehow. And I mean, I never thought you could get worse. And remember, Sarah Palin looks good in comparison, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's getting
I
real bad.
Fuck
I
me.
cannot. I 13 years ago I had a different mentality about things.
Right?
And initially
I
I was like, "Ooh, damn, that's a MILF." And then she opened her mouth and I was like, "Oh, I'm out."
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm young. I remember the first election I ever remembered was Obama versus McCain, and I remember I was
There's
in-
there's adults that weren't alive on 9/11, and that shit just fucks with my head.
I was alive on 9/11 at least. I don't remember.
Okay,
if I was
good.
alive,
Thank
right?
God. Thank God.
But I was in elementary school back then, and even I thought
Wow.
I was in 5th grade, and I still thought Sarah Palin was a fucking moron.
Yeah.
I was like 7 years into my career.
Dude, I woke up hungover on the floor with my feet on the couch and my head on the floor. I woke up in LA after a night of partying, and I swear I saw the TV and I saw the plane hit the tower, and I went, "What fucking movie is this?" And I went crashed back for like another hour, and then I woke up again, and then there was more of it, and then I'm like, "Oh shit, what's going on?" And it finally came to me that what I was watching was CNN.
I was
yeah.
3, so
Yeah, well, there was a time called the '90s. It was awesome.
so I hear.
It was the zenith of the human experience.
I hear you could walk into airports. It's crazy,
dude. You could walk into airports. Things were loose.
Not only could you walk into airports, but like people who were picking you up, like a wife,
yeah, they could
or
walk
husband
into
or
airports.
girlfriend, they could walk all the way to your gate and stand
You're right.
there with a sign and be like, "Welcome home, baby."
It's just like Die Hard.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you remember Die Hard, since Christmas is coming up? Die Hard, the Christmas movie, where
Yes.
the he's getting off the plane. Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah,
It didn't have to worry about people.
you didn't have
lighting
to
their
worry about
flip-flop
many
on fire.
things. And it all changed because a dude tried to light his shoes on fire, and that was that.
I heard they're walking that back now. They're like, "Okay, we don't need to do this anymore. Take your shoes off."
Well, now they're doing that. Like now they're doing full on like facial recognition, which is. It's funny to me that all happened without that all happened without any public debate. You notice that they just did it, and nobody ever got to like chime in and say maybe not.
Yeah, no, I mean it's like the entire Patriot Act kind of precipitating like all this stupid bullshit we see with Palantir, which also, by the way, what kind of fucking asshole names his company after the crystals in Lord of the Rings that were specifically corrupted and misused by the forces of evil? But I digress.
Right.
But I mean, it's very, very crazy to me as a younger person, how little pushback there was against the Patriot Act when it came out, that kind of precipitated and allowed a lot of this stuff. It's a little bizarre looking back on it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, 9/11 had just happened, and George W. Bush seemed harmless because he was so dumb, and Colin Powell and all the serious people, and Colin Powell and all the serious people in government like they started betraying their seriousness, but we didn't yet know that what would come would come. You know, so we still took them seriously because they were serious people. Supposedly, that was the beginning of the end of serious people as a thing. But honestly, like I miss serious people. I miss serious people, guys. I miss, you know, it's funny because I worked among them my whole career and I'm missing them. And these are the people that take on a lot of responsibility, that have the wisdom and the experience to manage it, that don't get freaked out when others get freaked out, that know the material inside out. And it's funny, for all the negative things I've ever heard about Hillary Clinton, Hillary was very good friends with my uncle, one of his best friends. I've known her and off and on in my whole life. My brother worked for her at the State Department. He is just one of those people. She knows her shit inside out. Super smart, super nice on top of that. That doesn't come across on camera, but she's amazing like that. But she knows her shit. And when you come to brief her or give her information, she's going to question you and she's going to know as much as you know. So you better be ready. And like serious people are a beautiful thing. And this country needs serious people. And sadly, I don't know if the incentive structure is such that serious people would want to jump. Like a serious person wouldn't want the job that Donald Trump recently held. I don't care what the job is. You know what I mean? It's hard to want to take it to do a serious thing when the society can't take itself seriously. And any society that elects Donald Trump and that like reveres Kim Kardashian is not a serious society. And so we have this fucking problem. And we don't, that's actually not a political problem, but it is the cause of our political problems. We need to figure out how to fucking value education, how to value experience, how to value work ethic, how to value values, how to value truth and honesty. And I don't know how we reboot all that. And that's probably the thing that stresses me out the most because I can win the political battle against Donald Trump. All I need to do that is a few $1 million and a good team. And we have the team. We just need the money. But I don't know how to win the social battle for reclaiming all of the things that are worth something because the old adage is the problem with the democracy is that the people will eventually realize that they can just vote themselves the treasury and they get spoiled. And that happened with the boomers in particular. Um, but there's also a social component to that, which is losers, rather than doing the hard work to become winners, would rather just make loserdom more desirable. And so you tend to be promoting a sort of worldview that says, what's the shortest path? What's the easiest shortcut? And if everybody starts taking shortcuts, then we're not going to end up with engineers and like our bridges are going to end up being way worse, or there's not going to be the innovation we need in tech and in other areas to save the climate and et cetera. So like we're kicking our own asses every single fucking day. And it just, for me, it's super
Hmm.
frustrating because it's not really a political problem. It's like all the kids we all hated in high school are suddenly powerful. Like,
Yeah.
what
So
a
When you were
disaster.
saying, when you were saying, how do we get that back? Like, how do we instill those values in people? The only real way to do it is to be them, to embody them, to practice what we
Right.
preach. To however many
No, and there's
euphemisms you
things
want to
we
throw
can
at
do.
it,
We
walking
can
the
we can
walk.
get people. We can like. I always thought that college should be free if you do 4 years of service, right? Peace Corps, military, etc. And I think every kid that we can get into public service, we should get into public service, and figure out
Mhm.
how that helps build more values. Because a lot of it is also just shitty parenting, and and not to hold the parents responsible. It's really fucking hard to parent in the age of the cell phone addiction. And in the age of like you can't restrict children from a very early age from access to everything, and that changes everything. So I don't want to put it on the parents. I'm just saying it's hard to produce a good outcome kid. And maybe some public services, like college is free but you got to go serve, um, is a maybe a good deal for a lot of kids, especially the ones that are in troubled backgrounds or that need extra help.
So I do actually disagree with one thing you said. Very specific thing is that this social media addiction, this Kim Kardashian worship bullshit, all that stuff isn't a political battle. I think that it is, because I think that a lot of it comes from um, the way our economics play out and the way our economics allow, especially like tech companies and monopolies, to drive public opinion and create these apps that uh, feed or are predatory of um, our natural like ways of thinking or natural addictions, and these are things that can be solved politically as well. I mean, one of the things you're talking about, like trying to restructure the Democratic Party and trying to get more people with spines in there, right? One of the reasons I'm all on board with that is because it makes it more likely you're going to get things like taxing billionaires or stricter regulations
Right.
or rebuilding the education system in this country that will directly impact these kinds of things as well. So it's one of those things where I think you are actually selling yourself short, and that you're already doing some of the work to fix some of this shit too.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, I'm talking about the broader issue of
Yeah,
societal collapse, right? And when I think about that, and I think politics, I think that the chain of events sort of goes the other way, right? Who we are as a society becomes very apparent in our politics because that's a place, it's a clarifying place.
right.
But the disease starts at home to me. Um, and I just remember like my childhood in the 80s and 90s versus yours in the 2000s and the 2010s, right? I think about that difference and the experiential difference that we would have had. I mean, obviously, I grew up in the Dominican Republic, which is also backward. But
Right.
my point is, I got to go outside every day. I didn't have a cell phone. I wasn't distracted with 50 things. I could focus on my friends. I could get to know them. I memorized 100 phone numbers at any given time, right? Because we didn't have ways to store that. So you just had to know your numbers. Um, and I think all of that grounded us in relationships with each other and in dependencies with each other that were more real. If you look at like the incidents of small things like movies that are original versus movies that have sequels. Uh, I grew up with far fewer sequels than you did. Most of the films that I watched as a kid were original films. And those little layers just rob people of the creativity and the originality and the purpose of their lives in ways that they can't even measure exactly. But how connected you are to other people defines what your community is, where you feel like you belong. And if you don't have that, if you don't have a sense of purpose or belonging, it's going to be very hard to build a politics of empathy and caring because the caring has to start somewhere, right? And my point is that the cell phone, by making the competition between teenagers global, meaning it's no longer a schoolyard, now it's the whole fucking world. And if you're a girl, you're not comparing yourself to the hottest girl in your school. You're comparing yourself to Sabrina Carpenter or Taylor Swift or whatever on a one-to-one level psychologically. And you're always deficient. So you're coming up with this hardship that's built in. We didn't have any of that. And I'm not a psychologist or a sociologist, but I know effects when I see them. And look, we've gone from Michael Jackson to Justin Bieber. We've gone from Whitney Houston to Ariana Grande. We've gone from like Shakespeare to 50 Shades of Grey in a pretty short period of time, lifetime wise. But we're still claiming progress somehow. And we talked about Kim Kardashian. A Kim Kardashian country elects Donald Trump president. That is like, it's like idiocracy. One follows the other. If you're going to be a country that celebrates Kim Kardashian, who has never done a job in her life other than having sex on a tape and putting it out, then I don't know what you're going to end up with like a Donald Trump presidency or worse, by the way, because that's a ridiculous fucking thing to celebrate. It's a ridiculous way to live. I feel I have to quote Will Ferrell in Zoolander. I feel like I've taken crazy pills. You know, what the fuck are we doing here? You know?
And it's definitely one of those things that's I mean, I don't think we're actually like really misaligned. I think we're looking at the same problem from two slightly different perspectives, realistically. But it's definitely one of those things. It's also compounded by economic factors of like people want to
Right.
have
Yeah,
access to
yeah.
third spaces. Of like, I'm so lucky that I have a really good local game store, and I go there and I play Warhammer all the time because if I didn't have that, I'd have nowhere to go
Right.
to socialize with people in person. I just
Right.
I simply wouldn't.
Right.
I
And think about that. That like even the socialization in person is down to a video game, which involves a lot of
Yeah.
networking online. And so my point is like, dude, we need to reconfigure childhood for our kids. And I'm not saying this as a political question. Like as people, the going outside touching grass things used to be all we did. Dude, there was a fucking commercial when I was a kid. At 10 p.m., the TV would beep, go, "Do you know where your children are?"
I
You know what I'm
remember that.
saying? My
Yeah.
fucking parents never knew where we were because we weren't there. We were out connecting with the world. And I was 9 years old, hanging out with kids on the street in the Dominican Republic, which is not America. You know what I'm saying? But you learned how to become independent. You learned how to rely on your friends. You learned not to narc on people because if you got caught doing some bullshit, it was deny across the board. Nobody ever fucking spilled. Like, we learned some foundational lessons. And obviously, like, that's the great thing about growing up in the Dominican Republic is that our culture is so strong and our society is so sophisticated that you get purpose and meaning for the rest of your life imbued in you from the very beginning. But in America, in a place where life is temporary, you never live in one place for too long. You never grow old with the same group of people around you because you tend to move. It's harder to have that at the inception point. So we have to make a bigger effort to build it later. And frankly, like it's just getting ugly out here in terms of like what's influencing our lives, what we're reduced to in terms of our daily existence. You have to really work very hard to get social these days. And then the pandemic has made it so much worse because it normalized it. And by the way, like when Americans say, I just want peace and quiet, that's not something a Dominican would ever say. Peace and quiet would not be desirable outcomes for a Dominican. We would want loudness and dancing and joy and etc. In America, anytime you walk down the street, you realize people are trying to make everything quiet and they're trying to stay away from other people. And that, to me, is the core reason why we're having all these political problems, is because people are seeking separation and elimination of the other rather than embracing the other, dancing with them, yelling at them, getting angry, getting happy, having sex, enjoying life, figuring it out, dealing with people, taking ownership over their fucking, you remember I mean, it seems like a long time ago that we all had 30 people in our lives who were a pain in the ass, but we had to carry them because they were our people.
It wasn't that long
Now,
ago. I got out in
right,
23.
right. And now we don't carry anybody. We're like, I'm so proud not to carry anybody.
Yeah.
Like the incentive structures have changed, and it's just fucked up, man. We're living like assholes right now. We're celebrating being an asshole, and that's how you end up with Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro and all these miserable assholes being celebrated people. Like those people would not have been relevant, let alone celebrated in the 80s or 90s. They are a product of this moment and very particular to this malaise that we're experiencing.
Yeah, no, I definitely think you hit on something there of like that the like separation from other people is seen as a luxury, which is it's fucking bullshit. Like again, I'm one of those people where if I were separated from other people, I would lose my fucking mind.
Right.
I don't give. I mean, it's probably also because I the ADHD and everything. But
Sure.
like, I don't give a flying fuck about peace and quiet. All I want to do is paint my stupid fucking plastic spacemen and go and play board games with my friends, right? And go
Yeah.
have a great time there, or go to a bar,
Totally.
right? And just
Right. And just
laugh it up.
enjoy your life.
Just enjoy
And
it.
yeah. Right.
Enjoy myself.
Not that complicated, but frankly, that seems like it's a dying thing. And I think the problem we have is that we're all operating from a place of like trauma. And I don't like to use that word because I'm neither a white person nor somebody that says the word trauma very often. That is not a thing in my life. But the construct does hold for us, though, because whatever the fuck has gone on since 9/11 has just been shock therapy through these devices directly into our psyche in a way that tells us that other people are bad and that other people are danger. And the reality is, we're all we fucking have. We're pieces of animated carbon. And we all beat out like a billion sperm in a marathon. It was like we all ran a marathon against China and we won that marathon. And the prize is life and the trophy is this body. And we get to exist in a world that has food and people and amazing shit to do. And we've reduced that experience to a miserable fucking standoff where 8 people have as much wealth as 4 billion people. And I'm sitting here going, why don't we just get rid of the 8 people and take their money and make the lives of the 4 billion people better? Like, what the fuck are we doing? It's crazy to me. It's crazy that we're defending this. It's indefensible. But again, they are repressing us and using the algorithms and using the tech. And I do agree with you. Some of that is not our fault. We are being bombarded by it. But some of it is our fault because this is ultimately our prize and our trophy. And we have to make with it what we will. And we have to, build a life that's worthy of our existence. And if we can't fucking do that, then I'm not sure the deal is going to work for anybody. But frankly, we just need to stop being such fucking miserable assholes and hating on everybody and start remembering that life is worth living and that people are pretty fucking awesome and that smiling and dancing and having a good time and going to that bar or playing board games or playing, video games even, the enterprise of being together and doing things together is what it's all about because we are the only people that celebrate each other, that remember each other, that love each other. Like, my dog loves me to death, but my dog doesn't understand what I do for a living, nor can she appreciate it. It has to be somebody else that comes along and says, Carlos, you're doing a good job, or here's where you need to improve, or here's some feedback, or here's this. And like, we're in a world now also where everybody thinks they're a fucking expert. Like, I made a comment online about Aaron Parnas, the kid with the huge following on TikTok, who relays the news. And I said, a moment as serious as this requires the wisdom and the experience of somebody like Walter Cronkite, because there is a value to wisdom and experience, and those things can't be shortchanged. It just requires time, and you just have to live through a lot of different shit. And dude, the internet went absolutely apeshit angry at me, like they were in a cult for Aaron Parnas, and they were like, What have you ever done? Aaron has," and I'm like, dude, I've done way more than Aaron Parnas. Number one, but number two, that's not my point, and I'm not singling him out. I'm just saying that the influencer, by its nature, an influencer is somebody who's living bullshit and selling it to you as truth. That is what a fucking influencer is. And what we need in this moment are people who are not influencers, who are the exact opposite of that. The people who don't want any attention because they're fucking experts and just let them fucking handle it kind of people. And we've all known those, especially anybody who's ever worked with the military. Everybody knows where the rank is and everybody knows where the fucking experience is. And nobody goes to the rank. Everybody goes to the experience. And there is no better fucking lesson for that than the military. And honestly, like, just give me a fucking break. We need to figure out who in society is actually has the stones and has the experience and has the fucking the charisma that not everybody's fucking replaceable, man. We can't just make anybody anything. And the age of the influencer comes with this tag. If you can sell it online, if you can pretend to be it, people will buy it. Well, guess what? That really is a very fucking thin sheet of ice to walk on when shit gets real and when there's nuclear power in the midst and when the political arguments include the lives of like 60,000 Gazans and the activists don't know what they're doing, but they like to pretend they know what they're doing. So they do shitty activism. And then you say, hey, your activism is shitty. And they go, that's offensive to me. And I'm like, dude, it just sucks because you haven't changed a single fucking thing for the people on the ground. And all you're doing is yelling at people that can't help you. And I know it makes you feel good, but that's not good activism because it's about you. It's not about getting the result. You know what I'm saying? And like, we just need to stop this fucking nonsense, man. Again, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I really do.
I will be right back. I'm going to grab another drink here.
think I missed that part. Yeah. All right. I don't want to get off too far off topic. The weekend of the 22nd, the 20th, 21st, and 22nd, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right?
Right.
What? So, can you break that down for the people that have no idea what we're talking about?
Yeah. So Cliff Cash, who is well, if you don't know Cliff, I don't know how to explain him. He's a stand-up comedian. He's a stand-up comedian by trade. He is one of the funniest and most charismatic and a very charming, very nice human being who is also very angry. And Cliff is one of the leaders in this movement. And he and Jessica Denson and I have been talking about flooding DC for a very long time and just trying to get bigger numbers in DC. So, as part of our direct action program, we are working to flood DC in partnership with everybody, including you guys, to try to get just huge numbers to DC. And it doesn't have to happen overnight. We're going to do this multiple times. But we want to be surprised, really. But we want to be surprised by the size of this crowd, and we're hoping to leverage like people who live close to the District of Columbia, come and show up with us. We're going to go to Congress. We're going to do a bunch of different actions. These are all targeted actions to maximize pressure, with a rally in the middle. The Dropkick Murphys are going to play. It's going to be fucking awesome. We're going to have a lot of sort of high profile activists on site. People are going to be able to connect with us directly, to talk to us, to help us figure things out, bring their ideas, bring their energy, volunteer, find places to connect. Basically, we're trying to build an army, and we need to get everybody together. And DC is the right place to get everybody together. So please show the fuck up. Do whatever you have to do. Get in your car with 6 of your buddies and split off the driving like we used to do back in the day. Fucking make it to DC, and meet us there, and let's get activated together, and let's put the energy where it needs to go, right in the faces of these assholes. Because the main thing I will tell you is the people in Congress are the shittiest people. And the reason they're in Congress, especially the staffers, is because they're so shitty that they can't really do other jobs. They're like wannabes. They're like double wannabes. It's so bad. And they're also mortally afraid of non-real dangers because they live in a patronage system. DC is a structure in which you climb. If you're a staffer, you start by being a staffer to a nobody, and then eventually you become a staffer to a somebody in the House, and eventually you jump to the Senate. Eventually you go to the administration when your party gets the White House, and so on and so forth. And you make between $100,000 and $250,000 a year for a job that nobody can explain, including you. And you don't have to be very good at it, because nobody is. And you work for the most insecure assholes on earth, which are politicians. Politicians are full of shit. They are just the worst people. They're so full of shit. And because anybody that would want that job, think about it. If you're sitting in a committee all day, a really shitty job. But the payoff is that you get to be important. So these jobs are taken by people who want to be important and who can stand that misery, which is not a great combination for human, it turns out. And so DC, the whole fucking superstructure is fucked. And we need to go in there and shake the shit out of it. And that's what we're proposing to do. So we're asking everybody to come and join us as we shake the shit out of DC and remind these people that they work for us. And hopefully we can start the process to getting a bunch of them out of office and replaced with people who are better fucking people. Because we need an entire new generation of politicians. I mean, from the bottom up. And then we need to do that as quickly as we can. And honestly, like all of these fucking decisions, the part that frustrates me is everything we need to do to end the threat of Donald Trump is within our power right now. If like 30 million Americans showed up in DC tomorrow and just surrounded the White House and said, we're not leaving until this fucker's out of office, it would probably end in a matter of weeks. But if we had a general strike and we were able to shut it all down, it would end in a matter of weeks. We can't even get Democrats to not vote with Donald Trump. Fucking ridiculous, man. What the fuck are we doing? Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I heard, was it the mayor of Chicago is talking about
The first
calling for a general
Democrat
strike.
to join our call for a general strike is the mayor of Chicago. Power to the mayor, because that is exactly what we need. I just want to replicate that dude and put him in every office in America. Imagine where we'd be then, you know? Governor Pritzker, another one that's shown some fucking serious stones. I want to elevate people like that, you know? Even Gavin Newsom, who can be such a douche, but
I
like,
do hate that guy.
no, I know, but at least he like tries, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, dude, honestly, just give me people that are willing to fucking fight. Hakeem Jeffries still hasn't endorsed his party's nominee for mayor of New York. And it's like 2 weeks before the election. What the fuck are we? I mean, that dude is from New York.
I,
That's the city he represents. And it's his party's nominee. And I don't care if you agree with him or not, your voters chose him. That is it. That's the end of the fucking argument. You're Democrats. Stand by your fucking people. Republicans never do that. Republicans have these guys that have literally been convicted of child sex crimes because all of them seem to have been convicted of child sex crimes at some point. And they will still be like, no, that's our nominee, man. I'm standing by him. I remember Mitch McConnell when Donald Trump was the nominee. Oh, we're obviously going to stand by our party's nominee. And then the Democrats get the same situation and they're like, no, you know what? That human being may be slightly to the left of me and he's scary and I'm not going to endorse him, even though I live in his city and I'm the leader of the Democrats in the fucking House. That shows people that you have absolutely no fucking testicles and you can't be a leader. So again, I don't mind if he doesn't endorse him. He just can't be the leader, one of the leaders of the Democrats, because you can't be like apologizing for being a Democrat while asking people to vote for you as a Democrat. Like, what the fuck is this? It's. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very triggered by these people. It's very frustrating. It's frustrating that my biggest challenge is the Democrats and not the Republicans. The Republicans
I,
I know how to beat. The Democrats, I don't know how to get them to fucking give a shit. It's frustrating.
it's
Yeah.
one of those things of the status. Steve Shives, he put out a video a couple days ago talking about why people get frustrated with centrists, and it perfectly, I think, it kind of encapsulated um, the issue with the Democratic Party. It's like the centrists come from a point of, um, hey, let's compromise without fighting for anything, without being, because compromise is fine. Love compromise, right? Henry Clay, that just fucking spirit animal, whatever the fuck, right? But you have to start from a position of, hey, this is what we're looking for, instead of
Right.
starting from a position of, hey, this is what we're willing to give up.
Right.
And it's a failure of the Democrats to do that because the status quo that they represent right now, it encourages them to essentially just give up progressive policies and give up true populist policies and give up the things that actually benefit the American people for the benefit of corporations, which in turn only ever serves fascism.
Yeah. No, I see that. I see that. But on the flip side, you know, some of the most charismatic, the Democrats have a long-standing disadvantage. The Republicans can tell 1,000 lies and nobody ever calls them liars, but the Democrat makes one. Democrats will go after their own for saying a 20% untruth harder than they will go for Republicans for saying 1,100% untruths. You know what I'm saying? Like the Democratic base creates a problem. Also, people are full of shit, like this whole idea of like cancel culture and the fact that if somebody says something wrong, they're suddenly fired from their job. We can't have that and then claim to believe in freedom of speech at the same time. It's one or the other. And we need to figure that shit out. And we need to stop being so goddamn precious about everything. Because you can't tell somebody that the opinions that their grandparents and their parents told them are so fucked that those people didn't deserve to exist. You need to walk them to the water and then you have to get them to drink by themselves. And bringing people to change is about inspiring them and leading them, not about forcing them or telling them or whatever. And so we need an aspect change when it comes to Democratic voters. But I actually think that some of the most charismatic leaders in the Democratic Party's history the ones that have overcome the intrinsic challenges of being a Democrat, like JFK, like Bill Clinton, like Barack Obama, all happen to be centrists. And I think that there is such a thing as a centrist who can get more done because they're more open to multiple points of view and they're not as married to ideology. Um, I don't care who the person that comes out is. My job is not to pick the next guy. That's America's job. My job is to get us to the next election and to get us past Trump. And so I don't want to preordain anything, but I hope the Democrats figure this shit out because as a bystander and as a very interested observer, I am very, very disappointed in the Democratic Party, man. What a shitty group right now.
Oh, they're fucked.
Yeah.
They're cooked.
Yeah, they're cooked. They're
It's one of my
cooked.
big complaints. It's like I realize that you guys don't have the majority, but when you did, you didn't do anything.
Right. No,
Like you
they didn't
tried to
even, dude.
maintain the status
They had everything under Obama for the beginning, and they got healthcare done with one vote. And I'm sitting there going, and then the one that always got me was Kirsten Sinema in the Senate. Like, and now it's Fetterman. There's always that one Democrat who's not really a Democrat, and this party is like, well, we have to make room for them. No, you fucking don't. Kick them out of everything. Tell them to go fuck themselves. Stop placating people just because you want to keep them on your side. If they're not really with you, they're not really with you. Better to fucking proclaim it loud and clear and just get them the fuck out. If I were the Democrats, I would have kicked John Fetterman out of the party. I would have kicked the West Virginia guy. What was his name? The guy that lived on his
Joe
yacht and drove the Maserati.
Joe
Yeah,
Merkin.
Joe
Manchin.
Manchin. Yeah, I would have kicked him out of the party. Fuck, come on, let's start kicking people out. It'll be fun.
Oh.
Let's start deciding who we are, not just who we're not.
I can't believe I fucking voted for Fetterman.
Oh, dude.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I agree, but it's a fair
The
thing to say
dude,
that,
like,
you know,
the dude lived up to his look, though. Come on, he really did.
Yeah.
He was not. He was. People who voted for him were like selling themselves a version of that dude. That then, when it turned out to be the real, because what we could all see, I think everybody.
I don't even remember who the fuck was running against him, but I didn't even. I think the guy who's running against him didn't even fucking live in Pennsylvania.
Well, yeah, that was on the.
Which one of our senators?
wonder-
One of our senators doesn't even fucking live here. McCormick, fucking McCormick.
Yeah.
He doesn't even live here.
No,
was it Dr. Oz? Dr. Oz or something
Dr. Oz
like
is
that?
running for something. I don't fucking.
He ran for something too. I don't know,
He was
I fucking hate that guy too.
dude. I don't want to live in a country where Dr. Oz thinks he should run for things.
I don't either.
I want to live in a country where Dr. Oz says, I'm really fucking lucky that Oprah or whatever decided that I'm a doctor. And I'm just gonna-
It
I'm
was
gonna
Dr.
say-
Oz.
I'm gonna stick to my I'm gonna stick to my fake medicine on TV and making a bunch of money and just take the good where I've got it. Because honestly, like, why does everybody think they belong in politics? By the way, it's funny to me that people don't argue with their doctors over medicine typically until now. But historically, people don't argue with like engineers over the engineering of a building. But everybody argues with political experts about the policies that need to happen in order to make the country better. And I'm like, dude, politics is really hard and policy is hard. And knowing how to weigh the equities and come out with a good solution is hard. And if you're Dr. Oz and you've never done it and all you've ever done is be on TV and be a bullshit artist, you don't belong in DC. And when fucking Stephen A. Smith says that he's running for whatever, just look him in the face and go, no, you're fucking not. Because you don't know shit. And let's just fucking elect people who know something about something. Because I'm tired of the learning on the job people. Donald Trump being the worst case scenario, obviously, but that goes for a lot of fucking people in Congress. Like my senator, Hickenlooper, we asked him about a bill he was voting on the day he was voting on it, and he didn't know what was in the bill. Because the dude was a brewer. I mean, come on. And I love brewers. I want there to be more brewers and more beer, but I don't want the people who make my beer to be making policy about fucking benefits to 65-year-old people and having to counterbalance that with tax rates and with, amortization tables and shit. Because frankly, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Let's pick some people who do know what the fuck they're talking about. Let's actually pick and who have an interest in at least not being pieces of shit. I don't get it, man. This fucking country, it's so frustrating right now. Anyway.
It was Dr. Oz that Fetterman ran against.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah,
the big thing that the reason why charcuterie is now in the public consciousness is because Dr. Oz walked into like
Yes.
a Piggly Wiggly and was like,
Oh,
this charcuterie is so expensive. Who's gonna pay for this? And people were
I
like,
don't know.
me?
I don't know how to handle the crudité prices.
People are like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about?
Look, my Ferrari is too expensive right now. All right. So is my Lambo. The only reasonable vehicle I have is a Maserati.
So I have this theory about guys like Dr. Oz or Dr. Phil, right? That if they were actually good doctors, they wouldn't have become TV personalities because good doctors do doctor shit.
Right. First of all, good
Crazy.
doctors don't talk about the fucking patient with the rest of the country.
Right.
The general rule in medicine is do not share.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, there are still doctors out there that don't share. But if you're a fucking doctor for Donald Trump, AOP12345 at proton.me is where you need to send me all of his medical records. Your name will never be revealed.
But yeah, no, it's I didn't even remember it was Dr. Oz. I remembered that I voted for Fetterman because I didn't even know jack shit about
Because your
Fetterman at that
choices
point.
were Fetterman versus Dr. Oz.
Yeah,
And
pretty
that
much.
is-
Pretty
that
much.
is the nation that we have allowed ourselves to become is one where the fucking election in the swingiest of swing states, in the oldest state, in the one of the coolest states, but also one with a lot of angry people.
Pennsylvania.
And a lot of
it's
Pennsylvania
a
is a
complicated area.
Yeah, it's a complicated area. And the people like the election in Pennsylvania was Fetterman versus Dr. Oz.
Right.
And that's not good.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things
Donald
of like
Trump up there, Gettysburg. Wow, Robert E. Lee. You can't like him anymore, right? And you're like, you're at the fucking battlefield. Where that
here's
for good reason.
Tim,
Right.
here's a very fun fact about Pennsylvania. Okay, so I'm not originally from Pennsylvania. I'm originally from Fairfax, Virginia. Right, that's where I was born.
Yeah, I lived there.
Yeah, after I was born, my family, we moved to Richmond, Virginia for a while. When I was 12, we moved to York County, Pennsylvania. The first time I ever saw a My Heritage, My Right Confederate flag t-shirt was after I moved from Richmond, Virginia to York County, Pennsylvania.
Right.
Some parts of Pennsylvania are backwards as fuck, man.
No.
I mean,
they're insane. In some parts of Pennsylvania and all of West Virginia and Pennsylvania, they have interesting relationships. Some of those back down.
York has two claims to fame, all right? One is the Articles of Confederation, and two is surrendering to the goddamn Confederates, right? There's some fucking backwards-ass motherfuckers here. That's all I'm saying.
No, that happens everywhere. It's funny because the most redneck people I've ever seen in Western Massachusetts, man. And you just think to yourself, like, what the? How did they out Kentucky?
Oh, man.
In Massachusetts, it happens. It happens everywhere. This country is fucking fascinating, and it's and that's actually kind of my point. This country is fantastic, full of weird shit. It's full of crazy ass people. It's full of the wildest, the most like I rode a motorcycle from LA to DC with 1,200 Vietnam vets for Run for the Wall in 2006. And we went through from LA to DC in a column of 1,200 bikes. And I met so many I've been in every state in the United States. I've met so many fucking Americans. And Americans are amazing, man. We live in the best country, period. And for us to be elevating people like Fetterman versus Oz, when we have people like, the people putting fucking shit on Mars right now, those people are available. Why the fuck are we considering Dr. Oz?
Yeah, and we're not talking about Musk here. We're talking about the actual engineers.
No, yeah, what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, dude, the people who designed the sets for Hamilton,
Yeah.
elect those people. The people who do the costume design for the movies where everybody goes, my God, look at that. Downton Abbey looks amazing. Like those people who are passionate about something, who have built a real skill, who have spent an entire life learning so they know the value of learning, who read. Don't fucking elect Fetterman versus Oz. Come on.
It's the Mamdanis, it's the Abu Ghazales, it's the Grand Platners, right? It's those people that have spines, they have principles, they have passion, they give a fuck.
They give a fuck. And again, you mentioned three that are particularly to the left. I don't even care about the ideology.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're a Republican,
To
and
be clear, I did that because I am particularly.
No, I know.
Yeah,
But I just want to expand it to say,
yeah,
I don't mind there being conservatives in our government. We need a counter voice, but make it first people who are not hypocritical about their values. If you're a conservative, you're supposed to believe in small government. Donald Trump is responsible for 25% of the debt
oh yeah,
in the history of the United States. So don't be a hypocrite and be fucking young and be energetic and tell me what conservatism. Because by the way, there is an argument to be made for conservatism in the modern age, because conservatism is all about getting government out of your life. And one of the powers of the internet is potentially to get government out of our lives in a very clear way by making everything available online, making our government life 3 clicks, right? Where you could have an app on your phone that keeps up with your taxes and you just press send at the end of the year and make everything super automatic. My point is, there are ways to streamline government and get it out of our lives, leveraging technology and the modern age and all this shit. But Republicans are not representing for that either. They don't really have an agenda other than self-service and fucking power, which is fascism. But there is a version of this that could happen on the right with cool young conservatives being cool and young and conservative. I don't mind. But I want all of my politicians to be people who give a shit for real. And frankly, I don't know if that's too much to ask, but apparently it is, because most of the people in DC are like there because they couldn't have another job. And that's really fucking lame. Anyway.
no, I mean we're ruled by the actually lamest people fucking imaginable.
No, dude, it's so bad. It's so bad. I have this grand theory of politics that the jocks went to Wall Street to get rich. The geeks and the nerds went to Palo Alto to, do tech.
Even
The
my
hot
dog
and the
agrees.
talented went to LA to be actors and musicians and etc.
Right.
And then like the normal people stayed home, and then the ones who wanted to be important despite having no skill sets went to DC, and the ones who got laid in high school became Democrats, and the ones who didn't became Republicans. And that's how we ended up in our present situation. That's like my grand theory of politics. And it's sad how often I am right. I don't want to be right as much as I am with that generalization, but man, just feels like a lot of people are doing this because they want to be important in a world that otherwise wouldn't make them important. And all they want, like Ted Cruz. I mean, how the fuck is Ted Cruz a senator? First of all, a Latino who calls himself Ted is an abomination.
Thank you.
Well, I don't
say it, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm Irish as fuck. I don't know nothing about that, but
I like to call him.
I'm Dominican,
Rafael
and
Cruz.
if your name is Rafael Eduardo Cruz, you can pick Rafael. You can pick Rafa. You can be Eduardo. You can be Eddie. You can have any kind of name you want. You know what level of self-hate you have to call yourself Ted? That wouldn't even be in the options list. If a regular Latino, you give him those names and you say, what do you want your nickname to be? And you ask him to write out 50 potential nicknames. Ted would not be one of them. 50. You have to fucking reach for Ted.
All right. No, it's crazy because like one of the things like I've been saying is it's like if you actually pay attention to like the histories of like dudes like Donald Trump or Elon Musk, right? They're the way they are because they have fucking daddy issues.
Totally.
And I get like, I come from a position of privilege where I have a great relationship with my parents. My parents are very loving. They're very supportive. They were supportive when I came out as bi. They were supportive when I came out as trans, right? I live with my parents because I'm 27 and life is fucking hard right now. And they're very supportive and I love them dearly and they love me dearly. But holy fucking shit, if you have problems with your parents, how about you go to a goddamn therapist instead of ruining the entire goddamn country?
Right. Don't work out your issues at our
Yeah,
expense. And if you're going to try to work
crazy.
out your issues
Crazy.
at our expense, then we should be fully allowed to bully you.
We should.
That I think that's the deal.
Bullying fascists is the best way to deflate fascists.
No, exactly. But I'm saying we should have it. Look, if you pursue office from a loser's perspective of trying to bring other people down rather than trying to elevate yourself, we get to bully you to prevent you from doing that. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you're just there for the wrong reasons, and we can tell, if you are Ben Shapiro or Nick Fuentes, by the way, and also, can I ask why all the white supremacist leaders are Latino?
Right?
Like, what the fuck? I mean, I was giving a speech in Miami on the 4th of July, and Enrique Tarrio showed up to interrupt my speech and try to get some attention for himself. And I was asking him, I'm like, wait, bro, you're Cuban. I'm Dominican and I look white. And I'm not a white person because I have nothing in common with like some dude named Joseph from Omaha. Like, it's just not, there's no commonality of experience or ethnicity or background or anything like that. Never mind the history of my island. But Enrique Tarrio is Afro-Cuban. He looks Afro-Cuban. He's pretty clearly not a white person. And yet he's the leader of a group called the Proud Boys, which is also a suspect name. For we
Well,
are manly men named Proud Boys. I think
well,
Cliff Cash made that
you know
joke.
where it came from, right?
No.
So where it came from was the original founder of the Proud Boys. He heard somebody at like a talent show that his kid was doing. It was some kid who didn't have a father, was raised by a single mother. They sang the song "Proud of Your Boy" from Aladdin.
Okay.
And this stupid motherfucker decided to take that, say it was an embarrassing thing to do, and turn it into entire right-wing fucking fascist-ass goddamn militia to mock this fucking kid for doing something at a talent show.
Wait, he was
To
bullying a
connect with his
child?
mother. He was bullying a
naming-
fucking child by naming his shit the Proud Boys. He was
That's
bullying
so
a
fucked up.
fucking child.
That
Fucking hate
perfectly
it.
tracks.
It's
No,
fucking
that perfectly
heinous.
tracks. Perfectly tracks. Stuart Rhodes, that's that guy.
Yeah, sorry.
The
I'm
guy
sorry.
he shot.
I get heated about that shit because fucking
No. He shot.
people
He
should
shot
leave
his own.
children alone.
But to be fair, he shot it. He shot his own eye out. So he's living in concert with his capabilities. I mean, he's fucking.
I mean, it's fair.
I mean,
it's fair.
he's wearing an eye patch because he shot himself in the face.
Yeah,
I mean,
man, that's fair.
That
That's fair.
and that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I fucking enjoy that part of the story.
Yeah.
Wait, does he have an
When
eye
I
patch
heard
because he's a
that, I-
badass? No,
No,
he
he is
fucking shot himself in the
he's a
face.
fucking moron. He's a worse shot than the fucking kid from A Christmas Story.
The only sad thing is he's too bad a shot to even kill himself. He missed. His own bullets aimed at his own body and he still misses. That's how fucking much of a winner that dude
This
is.
is the most anti-2A thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to be an amosexual and shoot your eye out? Like,
Seriously, you put one of your own pieces of lead in your own head, bro.
it's
It's not gonna work.
poster child for birth control and gun control.
Seriously. Honestly. I just wish we could predict these people. Maybe AI will help us with that. We'll end up with like Minority Report, but for stupidity, Ma'am, your child is gonna be an absolute fucking moron. We've run the study, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on him. Your baby it's not looking good for your baby, man. He's going to come out like Ted Cruz, and we need to do something about that preemptively. We need to inject him with some meaning and purpose and love early.
Or some
Oh,
irony.
man. Yeah, seriously. How the fuck did that happen, too? They're just picking random shit. Wait, we give it to horses and it has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about? That's the stuff.
I feel like that is a clear indicator of Russian influence. They're like, let's get these stupid asses to put horse dewormer.
Hey, Dmitry, let me tell you something. I believe I will bet you 500 rubles I can get Americans to drink horse shit, the shit you use on your horse. No way, Vladimir, no way. Da, I bet you 500 rubles I will do this. And then a week later, all of America is on horse dewormer. Fuck.
Or injecting bleach.
No, dude, that was the president of the United States. I mean,
Yeah.
that should have been the end of it. Any one of these things should have been the end of it. It's like, can you put a light up in there? And I mean, what the fuck, dude? I swear to God, I go back to the thesis statement of this interview. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, guys. I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. And maybe I've lost it, and I'm just so fucked that I don't see clearly. But seems to me that a dude that sprays his face orange and is legitimately the worst human being anybody's ever been aware of. It's like a parody of a parody. Is president. People still support him, and they are so fucking miserable that they would rather die on that hill than actually make the world a better place for their own kids. I think that's a fair read of what's happening. And then and then everybody, dude, why is it that everybody sometimes, whenever anybody's a sexual deviant or a pedophile, they're always a Republican. Everybody in power has very specific connections to pedophilia. Like, why is child rape such a? It's the worst human behavior, and it's so prevalent among these people.
It's you know what, I have a theory as to why, right? Legitimately, it's because like you pointed out earlier, the kinds of people that gravitate towards fascism, right? They're people that have been they have their unresolved stupid bullshit, right? They feel like they're not powerful and whatnot, so they desire to enforce their minute and corrupted version of what they think is powerful on other people. And I mean, sexual assault, to be frank, is very, very, very often not about the sexual part. It's about power. It's about
Right.
exercising your power over somebody who can't defend themselves. It's about exercising your power over a child. It's about exercising power. And it's so I mean, the reason it's always a fucking Republican, it's always a fucking fascist, or almost always a fucking fascist, is because
They
that's the
love the
kind of
power
people
dynamics. Yeah,
they like the power dynamics. That's the kind of people fascism attracts.
yeah,
And
that's a
it,
fair
like,
point.
and like they'll point to people, I came out as trans very recently, so I still look very masked, but like once I finally get on like HRT and shit like that, I'll probably visibly present as a woman and, experience all that stupid harassment and shit like that I'm super looking forward to as a trans person. Really looking forward to that. But like they're gonna point to people like, me or other people in that community because it's a vulnerable
Because they
community.
can, yeah.
Because they can,
Yeah.
and it's an easy way to cover up those crimes.
And it sucks, because honestly, unequivocally, every trans person I've ever worked with has been at the top of their game. Every trans people in general, because of the difficulties that they face in living normally as their true selves, develop such a resiliency and such a strength. And we would benefit so much from unleashing that community fully and giving them the full access to everything, and building not just good personal states and not having to deal with all the harassment and bullshit, but also like unleashing them and fucking. I've never met a trans person that was not an impressive human being, because I think fighting that fight strengthens you in other ways, and it's a sad reality that we put people in that position, but that then once we do it, we also then continue to denigrate them. It fucks with my mind. Um, Honestly, we just need to do fucking better as human beings, man.
Oh,
It's really
100%.
just what it comes down to.
For all sorts of people.
Yeah. No, yeah, but in particular, listen, the reason that when Latinos come here from harder situations, they work harder is because everybody who faces challenges to exist tends to formulate stronger bonds of friendship, stronger internal mental health, stronger shit in general. We tend to be more resilient. People have to work their asses off to exist, in one way or another, have to build resiliency. I started it as a taxi driver, and I remember there were 4 people peed in my cab, 2 people pooped in my cab. Once you've been through that, you never really you can't ever have a big ego because people shit in your shit. And you know what I mean? Like, whatever the difficulty is, it adds to your character. And my point is that this society, we have a lot of people that we put through unnecessary work who develop a lot of strength because of it. But then we continue to keep them down rather than empowering them and saying, hey, you know what? You've had to learn the hard way, but that means and we're now going to give you more responsibility and authority because you know that you are not going to fuck up. You're not going to be a person who is that, superficial or whatever, because you've lived some shit. And I go back to this experience thing. We treat experience as a negative thing. What we're looking for are untarnished people. And what I always say is the strongest people are the most tarnished, the ones that have been through so much. If a politician comes up to me and says, I dealt with alcoholism and I've dealt with an abusive father and I dealt with a lot of trauma from my childhood, I tend to think that grounds people and gives you a platform for understanding and empathy that is more real than somebody like Donald Trump who's never had to do a thing in his life. And the fact that we value the narcissists and that we value the Nepo babies over the people who have had to live a life to get to where they are and have to wrestle with themselves and figure out who they are and figure out how to connect with the world. Like, come on, man, that's the value of life. That's where the experience comes from. That's what builds us into complete human beings. And we need to start appreciating that journey more. Because right now we're just holding people back who could be the answer to our entire problems. I guarantee you, first of all, no 2 countries governed by women have ever fought with each other. No 2 democracies run by women have ever gone to war. And secondly, I would say that if the entire world were run by LGBTQ people or minorities or women or anybody who's been on the flip side of the oppression thing, if we had that as the dominant, we could undo a lot of this damage very, very quickly.
I mean, there's definitely some issues within some communities or some like marginalized communities and whatnot. But again, like it's very telling that like it feels like the only country that's had its head on straight for a while is Mexico, electing a woman as a president.
Yeah, she's a badass too.
Oh yeah, she's
And
amazing.
again, and it's funny because the Dominican Republic has the best president it's ever had. He's a man, but he's the best we've ever had. Mexico has probably the best president they've ever had. A lot of countries are making a lot of progress all over the world, and we are holding ourselves back in the most insane and obtuse and lame and fucking superficial way possible with this fucking dude. And I'm just sorry. I mean, I know we have to wrap up, guys, but I'm just sorry that particularly the veterans community is having to deal with this, because everybody who's fought and died or fought and been wounded or fought and suffered mental trauma for this nation understands its value automatically. And I feel like the rest of the nation is insulting the entire community by saying, we're going to vote for this despite your sacrifice. So I just want you all to know, and I want to say this to every veteran watching this. There are still many, many, many of us who understand what you've been through, who understand what you were willing to do for us, and who are absolutely willing to do the same for you. I count myself among them. I will die before I let them take away our freedom. And if they want to take away our freedom, they're going to have to kill me. And that is my absolute pledge to every fucking person in America. I don't care if you're a citizen. I don't care if you're here legally or illegally. If you believe in this enterprise, if you believe in this story, if you believe in the possibility of this country, you're one of us, and I'm fighting for you. And there are many others, you guys included, Cliff, Jessica, Jolly, the rest of us who are not going to fucking sleep a wink until we get this problem sorted. So please empower us, and we can make a fucking difference, and we can win this battle. I know we're all feeling like we're taking crazy pills, but there is a way out of this, and we have to find it, because the alternative is to lose to this fucking shit. And look, I don't mind to lose to a tyrant, but not this fucking clown. If America's going to take over by a tyrant, it's got to be the most amazing tyrant.
It's at least got to be somebody who's not a fucking loser.
Right. I want to look and go, okay, fair enough. You're so awesome. You can be tyrant, whatever. If we're going to lose this thing, let's lose it to an amazing person, not this piece of shit. Because honestly, has anybody ever known anyone who's ever known anyone as ridiculous as Donald Trump? Like, it's a fucking caricature, man. Anyway, yeah, thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being
Thank you
here.
for coming on.
Yeah.
Do you know the two claps and a Rick?
What? No.
You don't know two claps and a Rick?
No.
All right. So some guests do and some don't. It's when I do my rant videos, that's how I end it, is two claps and a Rick. It's just a weird thing that we do.
Okay.
I'll teach you how to do it. Just give me 1 minute though.
Take your time.
All right. So our upcoming live streams, because we're about to wrap things up. Upcoming live streams tomorrow, we've got Chris Volpe, who is running for Senate in Ohio. And then Wednesday, the day after that, we have Randall from Flair. Flair is another one of our coalition partners.
Randall.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Next
I'm going to put the
Tuesday-
pressure on. Randall is going to deliver the greatest live stream that anybody has ever delivered.
Oh yeah, I'm expecting it.
Yeah. Now that's the expectation. You tell Randall. Carlos said, the pressure's on.
Next Tuesday, we've got Monty Mater. And then the Tuesday after that, we've got Squid Tips. The following Tuesday is November the 11th. So that's Veterans Day. So we'll have a special Veterans Day stream. And then, I forgot. The day after Monty Mater, October 28th. October 29th, we've got Knitting Cult Lady.
That'll be
Knitting Cult Lady.
That's a lot of really, really good people coming up.
Yeah.
That sounds fun, man.
I'm gonna be real, because these are all people. Every single person you mentioned are people that I look to for news. So this will be
Tuesday.
This will be
Tuesday,
interesting.
November 18th, we've got Victor Velstra, who works with missing people and like cold cases type things. And I'm probably not describing that correctly, so Aljo's going to get in the comments and correct me. And then Tuesday, November 25th, we've got Rachel Burns running for Iowa District 7. That is our upcoming live streams. Y'all heard it here first. All right. So, Carlos, I usually close it out with two claps and a Rick, but I'm going to let you do it. I rarely let anybody do it, but you're awesome. So all you do is you just say two claps and a Rick, and then you clap your hands twice, and then you give a Ric Flair woo.
Okay. Dude, I sound like Ric Flair when I give speeches. So let's do this.
I remember this. I remember you giving a speech like my second protest ever and being like, holy shit, that guy is motivating.
Yeah.
Bring the vibe.
Fuck yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
He was the first up. And I was like, oh shit, I can swear now.
I creamed my fucking George.
I gave people a permission structure. I defined the voice of the movement. I said, we're going to swear. And we're going to do it with gusto. And now all the suburban moms are mad at me. Could you just keep the swearing down? And I'm like, no. I've been liberated. All right. Two claps and a Rick.
Woo! That is our stream. Oh, he deuced out.